Everybody's talking about glowing up, and as a woman, I want to contribute to that conversation. Let's talk about how you can be the best woman that you can possibly be by 2026. First of all, this is not for a man so that you can get a man, so that you can please a man, or so that you can keep a man. A lot of us struggle because that's our starting point. You're trying to manipulate people so that you can keep them or get them to be in your life. This is not about being good so that you can get a good quality man. Nobody cares. You need to learn how to be obedient to God and be good to yourself first, and all the rest will take care of itself. I don't give people relationship advice and tell them to do weird things. I don't tell you to transform yourself in any way so that you can be appealing to a specific demographic or type of man. I don't believe in any of that. I think it is performative and it does not last. You will get the best man for you when you show up as your best, when you show up consistently, and when you do the things that will pour into your life and honor God, because then you will get the man that is aligned with you. When you continue to play these games and chase high value men or high quality men of caliber, you throw all of your morals and ethics out of the window and you get what it is that you desire, and then you end up paying for it. Whether it be in your time, your energy, your suffering, mental capacity, whatever you want to call it. So before we go any further, if that is what you're looking for, you will not find that in this video. So let's talk about it. The first thing that I encourage you to do to be the best version of yourself as a woman in 2026 is to get married to accountability. You have to be willing to take responsibility for the things that you have done, for the things that you have said, and for everything that you've added to your life to get you to this point. If you're spiraling, if you feel like your life is off track, I don't care who has played a role in that suffering. You have to be willing to say, I can only control myself. And you have to be willing to put those big girl panties on and figure out, what are we going to do to get out of this situation? This situation can be anything. Whatever your current struggle is, it can be a relationship woe. Maybe you're recently divorced, or maybe you're separated on the verge of divorce. Maybe you have children and the father is not stepping up. Maybe you are struggling in your personal relationship with God. Whatever it is and wherever you are, the circumstances that have led you there, you have to own your portion. And one of the things that is really hard for people about owning their portion is that they think that when you own your portion, it excuses the other person. No. Something very triggering for people that I often talk about, especially when a wife has been cheated on, I ask her a series of questions pertaining to her role in the relationship to see if there is something that she has done that contributed to it. Now, when we have this conversation, what a lot of dense people will do is say, so you're blaming her for what he's doing? No, nobody's blaming you for what the other person is doing, but that's how accountability works. You take what you are responsible for and you say, okay, this is what I did to contribute to this. This is what I probably need to do differently. I am owning the part that I did. But if you're a woman, let's use the cheating example, you were in a relationship and you're mean to your husband, you're cold to him, you purposely withhold sex, and you're off-putting toward him, what exactly are you doing to be affectionate and welcoming to him in that situation? Nothing. So if he goes out and makes that decision to step out on you, is he wrong? Absolutely. But are you also wrong for pushing him away in that way? Yes. That's what accountability looks like. So the first thing that you need to do in your life, for wherever it is that you are, think about your life situation, think about the current circumstances of your life, think about the actions and practices and habits that you've had that led you to this point, and ask yourself, what am I going to do differently? What has landed me here? Me oversleeping, me not committing to my workout, me not committing to eating better. Oh my gosh, this weight didn't come from nowhere. It came because I made these decisions over and over and over again. Me having children with a man that I'm not married to and now being alone and raising them. Is it a possibility that I could have married a man and he left me too? Yes. But was it the responsible decision for me to lay down with a man, multiple men that I was not married to? And am I going to continue to do that? Because if I'm going to continue to do that, am I really making the best decision for myself? I'm hitting on a lot of general things here, but this is applicable to whatever your situation is. The first thing that you need to do is get married to accountability. It might be difficult for you to come to grips with the reality of the situation, especially if you've been so comfortable blaming other people the entire time. Now that you're reflecting, you might find yourself saying, I've been blaming somebody for this, this, and this, but really this is my portion to own. So that is going to be the first thing that you need to do, because if you can't take accountability, you're not going to be able to grow. Because anytime that you do something that's off track, anytime you make a mistake, anytime you fail at something, if you're not willing to look back and say, this is what I did and this is what I should do differently, then you're not going to be able to do anything else, and you're just not going to experience the growth that you desire to experience. And when I say mistake and fail, know that what I'm saying is we're all going to do things. A mistake and a failure is just words that we use to describe a mishap. It is only a true mistake or failure if you allow yourself to experience that thing and you come out unchanged. So going back to the example of having multiple kids with different men, that does not write you off the card of life forever finding a man that's going to marry you, but it will write you off if you continue to move in that way, because you're not even leaving space for yourself to be loved, honored, and respected by a good man. So what I'm meaning to say here is, just because you've had multiple children by multiple men in your past, if you learn what it was that I did in that situation and you're willing to carry yourself forward, there is still a chance that you will find somebody for you. But if you continue to say, it's my body, it's my choice, I can do what I want, more power to you, girl. I'm probably not even talking to you, and you can just click out of the video because you're not the type of person that needs to be in this space listening to this anyway. So get married to accountability. The second thing that you need to do is prioritize yourself. And I don't mean this in a way of abandoning your responsibilities. So just like you're going to take the time to say, okay, I am going to be accountable for all of my actions, you are now going to say, in addition to that, I'm going to make sure that I show up for myself, that I don't bury myself, that I don't hide, I don't put myself down to make other people feel more comfortable. I am going to be a person who prioritizes myself. That looks like spiritually, that looks like mentally, that looks like physically, emotionally, all of the things. So that means showing up for yourself. When you say that you're going to get up and work out, you say you're going to get up and go for that walk, do it, no matter what. One of the things that I like to say is, no matter what, no matter how, no matter when, you have to get these things done, because that's what it looks like when you prioritize yourself. So some days you might get up and you're like, I don't feel like walking because it's cold. No matter what, no matter how, no matter when, even if you got to walk up and down the steps in your house, you better figure it out and go get it done, because that's what it looks like to prioritize yourself. And the reason that this is so important is because we don't struggle with prioritizing other people. We don't struggle with prioritizing our commitments. If your child has to be up and at school at a certain time, you will not oversleep because you don't want the truancy people calling you. You don't want the school calling you. You don't want the child mark that's absent. And maybe you just want some time to yourself, so you want your kid to go to school, but you're going to get up and do it. When it comes to work, you're not going to oversleep or continue to miss work because you respect the people at your job, but you also respect that direct deposit that's coming into your life every single week or every single 2 weeks, whatever it is. And so we don't struggle in our lives with prioritizing other people, with committing to other people. Even in your relationships, you probably put yourself down and overextend yourself to accommodate people all the time. So we don't really struggle when it comes to, I need to put myself first. I need to pour into myself. And this does not look like, as I mentioned, abandoning your responsibilities. Prioritizing yourself does not also mean simultaneously not being there for your parents, not being there for your husband if you're married, not showing up in all of the things that you are actually committed to. What it means is, I'm going to show up for me first, because then I don't have to be performative in my womanhood. If I show up for me first, everybody else gets the best version of me. But if I show up for all of you first, there's bitterness and resentment written all over everything that I do. So you're going to find yourself doing nice things for people and extending yourself for your children, for the man, for the people at church, for the job. And when it's not reciprocated, when nobody says thank you, you're going to be bitter. And it's because, I can't believe I'm doing all of this stuff for everybody. I didn't even do what I needed to do for myself, and they're not even grateful. And then you start spiraling into that caricature that gets up every day and goes through her day being performative and being nice and being overly accommodating to all of these other people when she first has not even poured into herself. It's not a happy place to be in. It's not a healthy place to be in. So you're going to have to learn how to put your foot down, proverbially, and take care of yourself first. Prioritize yourself first. Learn to say yes to yourself first. The third thing that you're going to do is get closer to God. You probably say, I already have a relationship with God. It's never enough. And I don't mean that in a way that God is not pleased with our actions. But what I mean is, that is one of the things in life where there really is never enough. However much time you're spending in prayer, do more. However much time you're spending talking to God, do more. However much time you're spending in your word, there could always be more. I'm not telling you to kill yourself and martyr yourself and go off over here and get rid of your social life completely. But what I am saying is, if most of us were honest about the walk that we have with God, we are not on track. A few things that will tell you that you're not is, if you're the type of person who, beyond seeking wise counsel, you're always asking for advice, you're always asking for feedback. There are certain things when you get into alignment with God, when you read the Bible, certain things just click. Certain things you understand. Certain things you don't need to call people and ask their opinion and get their feedback and what do you think about this? Because the Bible already told you. God's word already spoke to you. And so you actually do yourself a disservice when you're out of alignment with God, when you're not in open communication with him, and when you're not seeking him regularly. Because one, you miss out on the life things that he wants to give to you, but you also miss out on direction that he might be giving you over your life specifically. So yes, there's general things. We should be kind to people. We should be generous. We should walk in the fruit of the Spirit. But there are also very specific things that God will show you and communicate to you for your life specifically. And you're out here asking everybody else when God already has the answer, but you haven't even gone to him. This one is actually really simple. What makes it difficult is we don't do it. We allow, just like we don't prioritize ourselves, you allow the time that you spend doing other things to take precedence. You allow the fact that you have children and other commitments to get in front of that. You wake up late and you say, I don't have time to read my Bible today. You say, oh yeah, I'm gonna get to it tomorrow. And then next thing you know, it's been 2-3 weeks, maybe a month since the last time you've sat in God's presence, since the last time that you've had open communion with him. And that is not going to give you the desired results or the desired outcome, because who are you being led by? Probably your own heart. And the Bible tells us that our hearts are deceitfully wicked. Now, none of this is meant to tell you how terrible of a person you are. These are just 3 things that will really change your life, change your womanhood, and help you in the best way possible to turn your life around. Because chances are, if you're watching this video and you feel the need to consume something like this, it's because you find yourself spiraling. You find yourself stressed about it, and you really are questioning where you are in your womanhood. So if you take those things and you apply them to your life, by 2026, you will be smooth sailing, friend. If womanhood is something that you struggle with, if you find yourself in cycles of self-sabotage and you're ready to get to the point of success in your relationships, the point of success in your personal accomplishments, the point of success even in your finances, all of those things are related. I tell people, when you have struggles like that, you think you need relationship help. You think you need financial help. You think you need all of these things, but really you need to learn how to stop sabotaging yourself so that you can present yourself better to the world and the world gives you better back. So for instance, if there are things that you allow and there are things that you don't put a stop to, people are going to think it's okay and they will keep doing it. If you're in a relationship and you allow this man to disrespect you, you can't control what he does, but you can't control his access to you. You continue to date him, you're communicating to him that it's okay for him to treat you that way. If you don't steward your finances well, even if you don't have a lot, when you have larger income or when you have more coming in or when God blesses you with more, you will squander it. So you will always struggle. And I know those things don't always seem like they're related, but they all come down to you not respecting yourself. You take the job that doesn't pay well because you don't respect and honor yourself. You don't think you can get better. You deal with a man who doesn't honor, love, and respect you because you don't think that you can get better. Why would you get better if you don't even love, honor, and respect yourself? Same with your finances. You struggle in your finances because you're not thinking about your future self. You don't love her. You don't respect her. You don't honor her enough to take care of her as well as yourself now, and be diligent in those areas. So if you're struggling with those things, I want to open up the application for you to apply for a spot in the Womanhood Series. I will put the information for that in the description of this video, as well as a pinned comment, so you can check that out. Doors do close 48 hours before we start because I have to give myself time to get your packets and materials in the mail for class to start. Hopefully I will see you there, friend. And if not, I will see you in the next video.